I note my honourable colleague mentioned technical briefings to understand Bill C-68. I assure him I didn't need a technical briefing. I was so relieved to read legislation that made sense again. But when I was in this House in 2012, when Bill C-38 was tabled for first reading, it was over 440 pages long. It changed 70 different pieces of legislation. We were never offered a technical briefing. There was a rush to push it through, and as many fisheries ministers, former fisheries ministers, 2 former Conservative fisheries ministers, 2 former Liberal fisheries ministers, Ministers Fraser, Siddon, Dhaliwal, and Anderson, were united in saying that what was happening was the gutting of the Fisheries Act. And I'd ask my honourable colleague to reflect that perhaps this legislation coming forward to re-establish protection of fish habitat, to re-establish fundamental notions that we protect a fishery, we protect fish, regardless of whether they're destined for human consumption or not, is an improvement in Canada's ability to steward the natural environment, which we are, as Canadians, we hold an obligation to take care of these living marine resources far better than we have in the past.
The honourable member for North Okanagan-Shuswap.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the member for her intervention here. Not being part of the previous government, I can't speak directly to how that act was brought in. But what I have noticed in my presentation today is that portions of that 2012 Act remain, and I have not had the full amount of time to determine exactly how much of those 2012 changes are there. But we see this act as possibly a furtherment of that. But the big questions that I've pointed out are the big concerns that we have with this act. Thank you.